Hello, my name is Edwin Villarruel, and this is the presentation for our project OTPGen, the two-step authentication password generator app. Now, why exactly did we make this? Security breach issues in our society. One problem many people face in our modern society is the high risk of security breach when it comes to social media accounts. And not just that, accounts such as bank accounts or any private accounts are vulnerable to security breaches. Many people don't have the high-level technical skills needed to defend their accounts from data breaches and hacking on their own, which is why companies have developed many ways in which one can protect their accounts, one being one-time password generation. A little more explanation. What is the purpose of this application? Well, it's essentially a authentication app. It adds an extra layer of security when it comes to the process of the user logging into their account by introducing a verification system. So OTPGen will provide the user with a randomly generated 6-digit two-factor authentication code associated with their account that they will need to enter if they want to log in to that account. Only users with this code can access that account. To avoid passcode being stolen, the set of passcodes resets every 30 seconds. There will be an example later. OTPGen accessibility. The OTPGen application can be utilized on multiple devices, including iOS, Mac, Android, and Windows. The simplicity of OTPGen's UI, interface, and features allow any user of any demographic to access the utilization of the app with ease. Here we have just the home screen available when users finally open up the application. It is simply just two buttons to log in and to register. The main functionalities. Users can add accounts to the app by entering the account name and attaching a custom secret key to it, or scanning a QR code provided by the app. Once the user selects the generate option, the account gets added to the list of accounts and a passcode is generated under it. A reset timer counts down, and whenever it reaches 0, all of the codes on the list reset and generate a new code. Users can freely delete any account listed on the list as well. Additional functionalities. Users also have the option to reset their passwords if they feel the need to. All they must do is type in their current password and their new password and reconfirm their new password in order to change the password on their account. There's also a forgot password method in which users who have forgotten their password get an email sent to them providing them a special link that takes them to the same page. Potential future updates and improvements. If any additional features or improvements were to be added to the app, they include code customization for user-specific needs, server-side options for easier access to generated codes across multiple devices, more methods of security for data through encryption, and more secure storage methods. To begin adding codes to associate to our OTPGen application, we must first find an account in which we want to secure, and if they have it available to authenticate through an authentication app. In this instance, we're going to be using Facebook. Here we have already generated our authentication QR code, in which we're going to be using to add to our account later. Now we must simply go through the process of logging into our account. Users who are new obviously must go through the register and input all the information here, and ultimately once their account is successfully created, they will be taken to the page where they're able to add their own QR codes. First, we must log in. This is purposely incorrect to show us that the system obviously checks for accounts if they're registered in our system, and users obviously have the option of going back and clicking. register if they're not in the system. Now we must log in correctly. There we go. Now, this is pretty much the bread and butter of our application, where we're going to be taking our QR code in which we saved, and they're going to be scanning it and adding it to our accounts. So in order to do that, one must press the scan QR code button here above the generate. It will ask the camera for permission, and once it reads it, it'll automatically enter the secret key. And now we must put it under a name. So for example, I want to call this one Facebook because that is the system in which I'm associating with. And here we have our account added to our system. Now, as you can see that there is a little bar here in which the timer for this one-time password is going to expire, and once it goes all the way down, it will once again renew it. Furthermore, I'd like to add that once you add an account, there is a way in which users are able to remove them in case they just are no longer using the service or the account or want that account associated with their system. So they simply must swipe to the left here and press the delete button, and it should get rid of their account. Now finally, we have one final part of this system in which you're able to simply just log out. It takes you back to the login, you are successfully logged out, and you must log in back again once you want to access the system again. Another aspect of our code is the forgot password page, where it asks users, for example, for a email. In this case, we're going to use a random one, and it checks if it's in our system. If it is not in the system, then it sends an incorrect error message. However, if it is in our system, here we go, it will say email sent, please check your email, and finally take us back to this login page where one must go to their email, reset their password, come back here, and insert their brand new password. And that'll be all for the demo for OTPGen. Thank you so much for watching.